You ever just play video games? Well, let me tell you about this video game. The most video game to ever video game. Let me tell you about I mean, that's not quite right. It's not just a video game. It's also a celebration. A celebration of the 30 years of PlayStation and all those franchises that came along for the ride. Apart from Square Enix for some reason. I mean, when I think of PlayStation, I think about Strife and Sora. But apparently they think of Gex. Sure. The game begins with a titular bot named Astro piloting one of the only launch PS5s that went scalped across the galaxy when an alien named Nebulax attacks the ship and completely dismantles it, part by part. Right before Sony would do that themselves with the PS5 Pro. You then spend the rest of the game exploring the different galaxies to rescue his crewmates and find the missing parts to rebuild his spaceship. At its core though, Astro Bot is a delightfully charming platformer with intuitive controls and fantastical level design. Every world is created with a specific theme in mind and it absolutely nails that theme every time. Astro controls tightly and his array of jumping, hovering and spin attacks link together very fluidly. Combine that with different power-ups that are found during the levels, all of which offer different ways of attacking and or traversal, and it just allows the player to really get schmovin' as fast as they want. Usually, the level that introduces a power-up is designed around it and offers a fun experience with how that power-up interacts with the level, without having to include any intrusive tutorial. Well, yellow paint, I guess. Some power-ups are better than others. The monkey one was pretty good, but in the speedrun levels that they added post-launch, there's ones that require you to use it very quickly, and due to the motion controls tied to the monkey power-up, it becomes very uncomfortable within a couple of attempts. Luckily, the motion controls can be easily turned off in the menu. However, throughout the main game, I thought the way that the controller was utilised through rumble and motion controls was really immersive, so I guess it's down to preference whether you want to keep them or not. My favourite power-up in the game, however, is the one that lets you slow down time. It was just used really cleverly, and the casino level that you first use it in was really cool, and oh, that's Joker Persona 5. That's Joker Persona 5 in my Astro Bot game. Remember earlier when I said how Astro has to rescue his crewmates? A lot of them are just plain white bots, however, there are a bunch of cameo bots that reference a bunch of different franchises that have featured on PlayStation over the years. And I mean, I play a bit of Fortnite, I'm a bit of a slag for crossovers, and I absolutely love how they have done these here. You have all the usual suspects, you've got your God of War, your Uncharted, Horizon, Resident Evil, Ratchet & Clank and so forth, but they also have some insanely goated deep cuts like Vibri from Vibribbon, Little Devil from Devil Dice, and the main guy from Rez. These robots are collectibles to grab along the way and function almost identically to the moons from Mario Odyssey. Not completely necessary to get all of them, but you'll need to collect a certain amount to get past some points. Every bot you collect will join you in the main hub world, so collect them all and you've got more bots than the current player count of Counter-Strike 2. The main hub world is a fun little place to hang out, as you can customize the look of your little guy, change the paint color of the PS5 controller ship, and do a fun little gacha game that unlocks props for the cameo bots that you've collected. That adds an extra level of interaction and reference to that franchise. I mean, look over here, they've got the best character from video games. I mean, how can you not like that? Not that guy. At the end of each galaxy, you come across a boss level, all of which are really cinematic and have great sense of scale to them. It's very reminiscent to some of the great boss fights found in some of the 3D Mario games. Beat the boss, and you rescue one of the 5 main crossover characters that each have an entire level dedicated to them. They each represent a different era of PlayStation consoles, with Ape Escape representing the PS1, God of War representing the PS2, Uncharted the PS3, Loco Roco was a surprising but very welcome pick for the PSP, Horizon was not a surprising pick for the PS4, and the PS Vita didn't get a crossover level to symbolise how Sony themselves forgot it existed. These specific levels will introduce a new mechanic from the series, such as Kratos' axe, or just straight up turning the game into Loco Roco, and I gotta say, these were probably my favourite parts of the entire game.
These references are now so deeply ingrained in the Astro Bot IP that I can only hope a future game will develop on this format of level. Imagine a sequel where every level is based on a cameo, a Metal Gear Solid sneaking level, a Vib Ribbon Rhythm game, a Katamari Damacy level where you just kind of roll everything up, a Yakuza level where you just beat the shit out of a bunch of enemies using a variety of random objects, a Persona level where you sit down and wait for the next level to be announced when the last level you just played gets remade in the time that it takes to wait. The possibilities are endless. Till you run out of cameos, or the companies that own them start to get fidgety with the IP.
A large problem with the direction that the video game industry is going in is the fact that a very, very large percentage of the video game audience really do just want ultra-realism Unreal Engine slop. They see the Nintendo Hire This Man tech demo and think, this will be Mario graphics in 2013. A good art style, good art direction, and well thought out level design will always make that game visually stand the test of time. Wind Waker released in 2002, and Okami released in 2006, and they both have aged excellently. Astro Bot, however, is somehow exactly in the middle of this. Whilst maintaining this whimsical art style in a world filled with robots, there are random times where it just slaps you in the face with hyper-realistic balloon physics, or textures that adapt in real time to water particles. I mean, they've done it. They've achieved a level of cartooniness so immersive that it feels realistic. And the soundtrack is also phenomenal. Each song perfectly encapsulates the theming of the level it plays on, while still maintaining that electronic-y Astro Bot feeling in ways that I haven't really seen since the music from most of the Mario games. There are even some levels that are more closely tied to the music itself, like the To The Beat level, that's mostly tied to the BPM of the song, and the Singing Tree level where the dynamics of the sounds change depending on what stage of the level you're at. My favourite though would have to be the songs that play during the main crossover levels. Just hearing those batshit crazy remixes for stuff like the God of War level that samples the boy soundbite, or the Loco Roco music just being the Loco Roco music. Oh, or when the Horizon level used the main theme from Horizon within it, therefore taking the only good thing that the Horizon series had to offer and putting it to good use. I mean, I compared it a lot in this video to a Mario game, but you'll see a lot online that Astro Bot was Sony's take on Mario Galaxy specifically. And that's definitely a sound argument. It does share a lot of similarities in its space setting, its platforming mechanics, the nature of its collectibles, and its oscarus_review score of 5 out of 5. Ew! It was just so peak from start to finish. And then they did 3 updates. So there was more peak even after it finished.
Speaking of finished, so is the video. Thank you all for watching. It's been a while since I've done a review, which is weird considering it used to be the main content for this channel. But the backlog from the Twitch highlights and the clips from my hard drive are quite extensive, and they're quite easier to make as well, so they've been placed on like a higher priority for a bit. However, by making these reviews kind of slightly faster in pace, I should be able to make them a bit more frequently. But speaking of future reviews, here's a small clue on what the next review might be. See if you can get it from the hint.